Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money. You're in another lovely Tuesday evening right here in the heart of Wailuku Town on the beautiful island of Maui in the great state of Hawaii. And we are here, of course, on another Tuesday evening, talk about some pop culture things and stuffs. And, of course, I've got a crew with me. So let's get right into it, shall we? First of all, let me introduce the crew for tonight's festivities. First off, this guy right here. He is the producer, seducer. If you ever talk to him, he loves talking about himself a lot.
What?
Ladies,
no, I don't.
Please say hello to Cobra Kai.
I feel insulted right now that you assume that I talk about myself, like in a third
lot.
person. No, I don't.
Well, no, not in the third person. You talk like, it's just every time we talk to you, it's about you. That's
No,
what
I
I mean.
don't. It's usually about you.
Are you sure? All right.
You always throw in your complaints and stuff, and you always giving everyone labels. Like, for me, a producer, I have not produced 1 ounce of thing. I'm more of a roadie
Well,
at this point. What?
You're producing. You're producing mediocre content right now on the NERDWatch program. So good on you.
No. I don't know about that.
Also joining us this evening, he is our man in black. He is also the guy who is, doing card tricks with cards. And bird tricks with birds. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully he's wearing pants tonight.
I'm not.
So he does his magic. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to our gaming guru. It's Phormat.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Hi, Japan.
Maybe
Konbanwa and all that.
They're doing all right now since they know you're here and got pants on. So that's
Format,
good.
Is this
But
confirmed?
do I?
Are you wearing pants?
All right.
I will not. I will
Neither
agree to
confirm
agree.
nor deny. All right.
Sure.
You will not
Whatever
confirm.
one is the one that fits your
You will
narrative
neither
there.
confirm nor deny. Of course, Joel in the chat
Quite firm.
wants to see your magic wand. Well, I don't, but there may be somebody that does. Also joining us this evening on this lovely Tuesday evening. He is the
Not there.
godfather of comic books.
He
is the chairman of the comic book board, and he is the sinister minister of Maui Comic-Con. He is also the self-proclaimed comic master. He is freaky. He is deaky. He is definitely leaky. His bevities can be quite streaky. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to it's Alika!
Woo! Yeah.
All right.
Still not there.
Alika's here.
Yeah.
All right.
man.
Alika, woo!
Look at him go. Look at him go.
There you go.
Oh,
Man.
my goodness.
Man, you
I've never
guys are
seen
weird.
such energy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So glad
calm
I
it.
introduced
You
him when
gotta
I
calm it
did.
down for the rest of the show there, buddy.
Thank God I introduced him last
Oh, man.
because that kind of energy. He's like the
Man.
ultimate warrior. You don't want him to gas out too fast.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, for those of you that do not know, Alika.
We lost Alika earlier today in a
Don't
tragic.
say that.
Oh, what? Oh,
Don't-
Oh, I thought he was
Don't
kidnapped
say
by
that.
a 5-year-old.
No, if you are watching us live, he is here. Although his camera's on, you don't see him. He is here. He'll be back
in
momentarily.
spirit.
I do want to let
From
you
the
guys
time we
know.
lost him. in the-
Of course, every single Tuesday is the NERDWatch podcast right here live on Facebook, live on YouTube at NERDWatch Nation, and on Twitch at NERDWatch808. So check us out on all 3 platforms. We simulcast on all 3 platforms. And how's this for the kicker? If you guys actually comment from any one of these 3 platforms, we will see your comments. We'll answer your questions as best as we can, or any statements that you have. You are more than welcome to share them with us. All
Hey,
right.
Kai,
Yo.
you should come up with a comic book list and go.
Oh, you want me to do it? Oh, okay. Give me a second. Let me pull up Diamond and all the other stuff that
Oh.
Alika has.
No, not an actual comic book list.
Well, no, here's what I was going to do. Here's what I was
Damn.
going to do instead. What I was going to do, I was going to wait for Alika to come back, and we could talk about that, and we can talk about the comic books because we normally start with the comic books. But since he is not here, here's what we can do.
Have we achieved resurrections? That's cool.
Here's what we can do instead. We'll talk a little bit about probably one of the bigger stories of the week, of this past week, has been the fact that now it is now official that because of the Memorial Day weekend, the box office in movie theaters has had its biggest weekend since February of 2020, and that is thanks in part to Quiet Place Part 2, making about $48.8 million at the box office over the weekend. That actually is on par with Sonic the Hedgehog around February of 2020 last year. So that was it. So Quiet Place 2 is doing well in the box office. I do believe that so is Spiral, the Saw offshoot. And that I know is doing well as well. So you can, if you have not seen any one of those two flicks, they are exclusively at movie theaters. And of course, the other movie that is also responsible for that as well is the brand new Disney movie called Cruella, starring Emma Stone. That of course is both in theaters and also on Disney Plus.
I'm such a big fan.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Can I make a point?
Man.
What?
Why are we making more of the Disney villains more sympathetic now? Because it just seems like it's a common trend that's happening more and more these days.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I do know that Cruella. I should say that I know that A Quiet Place Part 2 doubled Cruella's box office for the weekend. I think Corella was at 21 and A Quiet Place 2 was at like 48. So it doubled it. And since we are here and talking about it, I might as well talk. I did not get to see A Quiet Place 2, which I want to very badly. I did get the opportunity to see Corella. And we might as well. I might as well just talk a little bit about what I thought of Cruella. I got a chance to see that. I got an early preview, and I think so did. I don't know if you watched it, but I also know that Phormat had the opportunity to see that early as well. Did you get a chance to watch it? Phormat?
I did.
Fantastic. Well, you and I will talk about it right now. Big shout out to, of course, Joel, who's in the chat, and of course, a good buddy, Drew. So let's get right to it, shall we? Before Alika comes back and ruins everything. Let's get right to the Corella movie review. Of course, this is the movie that was starring Emma Stone as well as Emma Thompson, directed by Craig Gillespie, the man who is responsible for the movie I, Tonya. With
Dizzy's uncle.
Yeah, I, Tonya, with Margot Robbie, and of course also with that Walter Hauser from I, Tonya, and that's where Craig Gillespie got him from. I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to normally we spoil things here, but I don't want to spoil this because it's a rather interesting film. Corella was, I was mentioning, it is. And let me just put it this way: it almost feels like it was a cross between Devil Wears Prada with Ocean's 11 with a family drama, all set to like a early 1970s soundtrack in London, and some of it works, a lot of it doesn't. And this has very little to do with the 101 Dalmatians legacy, I should say. That's one of the things so there's no connection. I will also say this as well. And this should come as no surprise to anybody who got to see it. If you're planning to take your kids, don't. They will hate it. Okay? They will. In my estimation, your kids will hate it, especially if they are under 12. Okay, if they are 12 and under, they are gonna think it's terrible. This movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes long. They stretched this movie out quite a bit. And
Yeah, it is.
I will say this: there are some good performances in the film. This movie gets stretched out so much, but interestingly enough, for as stretched out movie as it was, it got more interesting the further it went along. The problem was by the time it got to that, I was completely uninterested. And it's unfortunate because there were some very decent performances in it. And I will say this, and I have to commend Disney for this, is that they took a chance with this. This wasn't like Beauty and the Beast or Maleficent or Cinderella, the live action versions. It wasn't that. This was something very different. And I think that overall, it was very unsuccessful in what it was trying to do. But ultimately, I think that Emma Stone's, the strength of her performance will see this through. And if there's any indication of my review that I'm giving you now, I might be completely wrong because it looks like audiences overwhelmingly like this movie, which I don't get on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't understand it. But anyway, this follows, just to give you a quick story, this follows the origins of Cruella, who, by the way, if I don't want to give anything away, her name in the movie is Estella. Shocking. And it's about her growing up and becoming this persona, and this is what it's about. So ultimately, I don't know about you, Phormat, but after watching this, did you feel as confused and like out of place as I felt watching this movie?
No, it's not hard to follow, but it's
oh no, not in that sense, but it just felt like it just didn't feel like it was like this Disney thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Like towards the end, I kept wondering if the movie was actually over because it kept going and going and going.
It kept going. Yeah, agree.
There's a lot of stuff in there that I don't think was necessary. Like, did we really need an origin story for Jasper and Horace? I don't think we did.
No.
But I will say the kids that play them when they're young, they're adorable.
Yeah, agreed.
The Emmas, I mean, I'm a big fan. But as good as they were in this, like they're not good enough to, I wouldn't say carry the movie because they carry the movie, but it's like the movie they're making and the movie they're in are two completely different things. Like they're too good almost. They stand out too much.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the time, and I don't know, let me know how you felt about it. By the time we get to kind of like the crescendo of what we find out, it's enthralling, but by that time I've kind of checked out. I'm like, this has gone on way too long. I don't know why why we couldn't condense this into like an hour and 40 minutes. Like,
yeah, for sure.
This should have been
I think it would be
movie.
more solid a movie if it were around that runtime.
I agree with you 100% about that. And what's funny is that I think Jasper and Horace were probably the strongest performances in the movie per se. Emma Thompson was fantastic, but she is such a shrew in the movie that she really does it well that you don't even care about her and you really hate her.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, she does a great job in the I guess the
the Meryl Streep
bad
part.
guy part.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because you know what I mean. Corella is supposed to be the bad guy, the agent of chaos that you know what I mean. That just does whatever she does because she just wants to. Yeah, and then that's not the case here. She's cold and calculating, and she's, you know what I mean. She's there. There's a reason for everything she does. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that Cruella is what Drew says in the chat. Cruella is very much. She has this Joker persona about her, or a Harley Quinn persona about her. It does. You do see that it is there, and you do know. you do know that there are glimpses of that, and it kind of throws you for a loop a little bit. But like I said, ultimately, yeah, I don't know. It was a rough movie to kind of get into. Ultimately, I have to say that our compatriot Professor Barry, who has his review up on Facebook right now, if you guys want to check it out, at Hollywood in Toto, he did not like it at all. As a matter of fact, he gave it 1 star. He hated it, as a matter of fact. I gotta say that I liked it more than him, but I only gave it 2. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate in the respect that I think that it was a missed opportunity to. You don't need. How can I put this? You don't need to humanize
a dog murderer.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to humanize. And they totally, by the way, retconned that. By the way, that has been completely retconned.
Now she loves dogs.
Not right, exactly. Now she loves dogs.
Yeah,
I will say, I will ultimately say though, the performances were decent. The movie was too long, and it just seemed as if this could have been shortened down to 1 hour and 40 minutes, and it would have been probably a much better movie. And it just seemed to be so many genres thrown into one. And the other thing that bugged me, and this is just a minor thing, is that the music was so on the nose that it almost felt very Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it was very Suicide Squad for sure.
Yeah. And I
think that's one of the things that people like about the movie, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the catchy tunes.
The tunes were good. I'm not gonna lie, the tunes are great. It's a great soundtrack. Did you get to see it, Kai?
Let's just say I sailed the high seas for a little bit for that.
Whoa, okay. That's all I need to know. All right. Did you like it or not?
I just didn't care for the whole. Well, we're just gonna make because I remember Corella being, Corella, this evil lady who wanted to murder puppies and turn them into fur coat. It seems like this is a trend where let's just make every villain that a sympathetic character and stuff. I kudos to Disney if it actually works and people actually like it. I'm fine with it. I just remember Corella being this one nasty lady, and I just don't see the reason for make origin story for her.
Kai.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Go.
He is the comic book artist extraordinaire. He is the creator of Disco Thunder Groove Ball, Mohawk Thunder, and his perennial work, The Kukui Project. Issue 11 coming soon. I hope. He is the Hawaiian Salted Superman. Everybody say what's up to Todd Bernardi.
What's up?
What's up, man?
We were just about to hear about Kai's thoughts on the movie Corella.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
You showed up just in time, sir.
Riveting.
Indeed.
Well, listen, Todd, I'm glad you're here because Alika.
Do you think that you could split Corella in half?
You could.
I bet you could.
Todd.
Well, Todd,
calm down.
Here's what I need you to do because Alika is a jerk. Could you get the comic book list ready? Because we want to talk about the comic books. Yeah, so because we haven't had a chance to yet. So let's get right to that.
I can do that. I have no problem doing that.
Thank you, Todd.
I just have to say, maybe I do it a little bit better than he does. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen.
Snap. Snap.
Agreed.
The glove has been thrown down, ladies and gentlemen.
I like it. Now, Todd, we have been talking about Corella because we thought we were going to get the comic book list out after this. But did you get a chance to see it with your family?
No, we actually, it was really funny. We went and saw Raya and the Last Dragon instead.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and that was a magical experience.
How magical, Todd?
How magical, Todd?
Oh, like you want a scale of like 1 out of 10?
Do you want to stop writing about the Hawaiian culture and move into the Asian culture?
No, that's how I got to the Hawaiian cultures. I started with the Asian culture.
Okay, I got you. Is it because they all look alike, Todd?
Hey, whoa.
Who? What?
Gee, you better calm down.
I'm just messing with you, Todd.
Wow.
No. But speaking of Asian cultures, I just think that this Corella movie is dumb. The plot's stupid. Like, Corella could just source those furs from Korea or China. Like, you don't even need to go and kill puppies in your backyard. Like, why go to all those lengths when there's just free puppy fur floating in the streets of Yulin?
It's very true. It's very true. Now, you know what's funny is that I find it fascinating that you actually, I think, to be honest, Todd, I think you got the better end of the deal because I don't think we didn't really talk about Raya and the Last Dragon or Raya, right? Yeah, Raya. Raya and the Last Dragon. I will say that is a much better movie. It's almost unfair to compare the two. But if you have not seen Raya and the Last Dragon, it is very cool.
I liked it a little bit more than Soul.
Damien from Twitch said, WTF, killing puppies. What did I walk in on? If you look at what this says at the bottom, we're talking about Corella and how she no longer is a puppy killer. That's the thing.
She's not a puppy killer anymore?
No.
That's the retcon. That's not a big
loves
shocker.
the puppies.
That's the retcon.
Puppies?
Yeah.
She just wants to kill adult dogs.
No.
No.
And here, by the way, this is not a spoiler because I don't want, Corella should be a movie that needs to be experienced because I don't want to ruin anything. But I will say this. There is trauma that is associated with Corella and Dalmatians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
all I'm going to say.
We all know. I mean, if anybody with social media knows what that was, you know.
Well, listen, don't spoil it here because I think that's one of the. I think that spoiling that is a huge crux of the movie, and I think that kind of ruins the experience going in. So watch Cruella it's available on Premier Access on Disney Plus if you don't want to go to the movies if you're still afraid of COVID.
Hey, some humans think that dogs are delicious. Some dogs think that humans are delicious. It's a dog eat dog world out there.
Well, that's fair enough. Ultimately, getting to kind of
I've never
rounding
seen a
out.
dog eat another dog, though.
It's a good point. I never have either. That must happen in nature, though? You know, it has to.
It must.
It must.
Because we don't see it. It must happen.
It must
somewhere.
happen.
It's like a tree falling on the floor. It doesn't make a sound.
Yes.
I am Damien 666 in the chat says, "How long has this podcast been going on?"
Too long, sir.
If you're talking
way
about
too long.
This podcast, it's only been on for about 20 minutes, but this podcast has been going on since 2014. So that's how long this podcast has been going on.
But it didn't get good until 2015 when I joined.
And here you are, still yet.
Truth.
That's absolutely fair.
We've been stagnant ever since, though. To be honest,
yeah, that is true.
Well, how could you ever hit a higher plateau? That's what I want.
You go up.
Let's round out this Corella movie review. Overall, it was an oddity among this, and I will say this, and once again, this is kind of an unfair comparison. Mm-hmm. This, for me, I think this is on par with one of Disney's other very strange movie releases. I think that this feels along the lines of Something Wicked This Way Comes, in as far as how strange this is, as considering it's a Disney property now or whatever. It was produced by Disney. That's how it feels to me. Corella, not exactly successful. Overall, would I see it in the theaters? I would say no. I would wait. Give yourself some time. And by the way, your kids are not going to like it. If your kids are anywhere between 12 and under, I don't think they're going to dig it at all. So I don't see it happening.
On the other hand, thought it was fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen,
what a great movie.
Yeah.
One for the history books.
Is that what it is?
So good. I gave it 2 stars, and Emma Stone's in it, so she automatically gets a star. So 3 stars. So good. Delicious.
Well, yeah, Drew is absolutely correct. Something Wicked This Way Comes was a Ray Bradbury story. It was produced once again by Disney, starring Jonathan Pryce. I love that movie, by the way, but that was a Disney movie, and that Disney movie was a very good movie. It was not in.
That's
Disney's
weird because
wheelhouse
they're never usually the same.
It was that movie that was essentially in Disney's wheelhouse, and it was actually kind of scary. So, yeah. Anyway.
Kidding.
By the way, if you can find Something Wicked This Way Comes, because I don't know if it even exists anymore.
Disney Plus, right?
Just go to Disney.
I don't think it's on Disney Plus. Not
you haven't even looked.
But if it actually is, let me know. Please.
Hey, look there right now.
It's there
Greg,
right now.
Greg, you have to stop watching Song of the South in order to find it. That's
not on Disney Plus. That is not on Disney Plus either.
I didn't say it was on Disney. I said you guys stop watching it, and then you'll be able to get that out of the way and search for it.
Hey,
G's VHS tape is starting to get worn out.
I could get in trouble for this, but I own a bootleg of Song of the South.
Oh, you pirate!
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
I didn't do it myself. It was given to me, but I'm not going to tell you by who. I'm not going to tell you by who. Drew in the chat says it was adapted in Tales from the Crypt back in the 50s. I think you are 100% correct about that.
Of course, he usually is.
Yeah. So, that is a great story. But anyway, overall, Corella is something you could skip. You don't necessarily have to see it out in the movie theater. Yep. I don't think it's that kind of experience.
Skip and hop your way to the movie theater.
Yeah.
Okay, I can confirm that Something Wicked, whatever, is not on Disney Plus.
That's what I can tell you.
You don't even know what it's called.
The NERDWatch has chimed in, and whoever's at the NERDWatch controls, and I think I know who it is.
It's Aron.
Aron. He loves Corella, and he gives it 2 thumbs up.
Well,
it's got to be him. He loved it.
He should know that emojis don't work on StreamYard. So
Aron has seen. He has seen. Get this. He has seen Corella 3 times. And once in the movie theater, and this guy is he's committed.
Well,
and the second time was having candlelight in the bathroom or something. Right?
Ron Cataguy, good friend of the show, says Aron gave you that bootleg copy. I knew it. No, he didn't. Unfortunately, it was not him, but it was somebody close to me. But it wasn't Aron. Anyway,
no one is close to you, sir.
That is also true. That's why you know I'm lying. Anyway, don't check out Corella. You can do better. It probably would behoove you to go watch A Quiet Place Part 2, which I heard is fantastic. I can't wait to see that.
A Quiet Place Part 2, Back in the Habit.
What is it, Kai?
No. I was just being weird.
What you're doing. All right. Anyway, let's get right to it, shall we? Because Alika is not here, it is time to check in with Todd Bernardi. We're doing it a little out of order, but that's okay. But because Todd is here, let's find out. Every single Wednesday is New Comic Book Wednesday. So let's find out what's new this week in the world of the comic books.
Batman: The Adventure Continues, Season 2, Number 1. It's got Dead Man on the cover, and the artwork is by Ty Templeton, and it's being written by Alan Burnett and Paul Dini, which were the original producers on the original animated. Yeah, friend of the show, I guess.
Yeah,
and
he's a friend of mine. So.
Yeah.
Or rather, I'm a friend of his wife.
The thing about these Adventure Continued animated series comics is that they combine 2 of the online comics. So they're usually around 16 or 18 pages. And so they do 2 online ones and then they print up those 2. So it's 32 pages, the page count. And so you're getting quite a bit of bang for your buck. This one has to do with the Court of Owls and how Dead Man can help Batman get out of it. And this is really interesting because there's a lot of new Batman mythology that's come out in the last 20 years that they're trying to get into these comics and doing an animated style story with the new stuff from the comics. So anybody interested in that should definitely check it out. Amazing Spider-Man number 67, Justice League number 62.
Whoa! Hang on, Todd. Did you hear that format? We're 2 away. Spider-Man 67. We're 2 away, baby.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
excited.
if they don't bring J. Scott Campbell back to do the cover for issue 69, they're really missing an opportunity. Batman Catwoman number 5 has the Phantasm on it from Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Anybody reading that book, I think that people should be following it. It's written by Tom.
Is Phantasm canon now?
It is now, yeah. The animated series continues, and Batman Catwoman both brought Phantasm into the fold for the comic books. So yeah, it's definitely canon. X-Force number 20, Marauders number 21, nice. Swamp Thing number 4, the Iron Man annual number 1 is out. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters number 1. Any Mandalorian fan, I think should check that out. We've got nods.
That's coming out tomorrow. So
it's coming out tomorrow. It's a number 1. I think that everybody's gonna love it. And
Maui Comics probably won't get it till next week, though.
They probably won't get it till next week, but it's gonna retell the story of the hunt for Han Solo. So I think it's going to be really interesting. It's drawn by Steve McNiven, and it's written by Charles Soule or Soule.
Whoa.
There's an E at the end. Soule. Hellions number 12 from Marvel comes out tomorrow. Heroes Reborn number 5 from Marvel Comics comes out tomorrow. We're gonna have Green Lantern number 3 and Man-Bat number 5, and then we've got a sensational Wonder Woman number 4.
Man-Bat has an ongoing.
He's got an ongoing, and they're taking sensational Wonder Woman deep into the icy Arctic. And there's a distinct lack of nipples, even though she's in the Arctic in a bikini. I don't know how she does that.
For shame.
That sounds like
maybe it's an ability that her father Odin taught her.
No,
like the invisible cup thing.
Sounds like an oversight. Sounds like an oversight.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume.
I mean, she can turn planes invisible now.
If Superman,
it was something that her dad taught her. So,
if Superman can shoot a load like a shotgun, I feel like she would be able to cut almost any material with her nipples.
I don't think I don't think Ron Cadigai would have any problem drawing nipples, and neither would you, Todd. I know that.
No,
sure.
I love nipples. I love nipples.
That's what I thought.
I've got nipples. Greg. Can you milk me?
I can, if you want me to. You just got to come over. I'll try.
Well, I knew you would.
Right. What else is on the comic book list?
Okay, so and there's an interesting one tomorrow. We're gonna get a Savage Dragon, but we're also gonna get Savage Dragon number 259 reworked and reformatted to spotlight the all-new Canadian super team that Savage Dragon has joined because he left America because of Trump. Well, he actually got kicked out of America because of Trump. And Savage Dragon.
Good.
So he had to go to Excuse me. Whoa. So there's a bear and a whole bunch of other Canadian
If you're still triggered by Trump in 2021, you can leave. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. Anyway.
I don't think it is, and I think that it's
Why are we getting political?
I
don't need to get political.
Yeah.
So being Canadian's part of the comic.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, he moved to Toronto. Now it's set in Toronto. Malcolm Dragon is raising his family in Canada because it's safer than America.
We should build a wall between Canada and America.
Also, Malcolm Dragon is half black, so his kids are a quarter black. So he's afraid of being shot by cops.
More importantly,
he
is still
now
a
we're
dragon,
bringing
right?
fractions into this. Oh,
I know,
geez.
seriously. Goodness. Jeez.
So, also from Image Comics, we got Firepower number 12, which is fantastic. If you guys like,
Fire and Power.
If you like Kung Fu movies, Firepower is the comic book for you. It's written by Robert Kirkman, and the artist is Chris Samney, and he's fantastic.
How many issues in is that?
This is the 12th issue.
12 issues. Any zombies yet?
No zombies, no aliens. There's a hint.
Are we sure it's a Kirkman book?
There might be a dragon, but it could just be folklore. We've got the Swamp Thing. Oh, I already said that one. We've got The Walking Dead number 16, Walking Dead Deluxe. They're reissuing all the Walking Dead.
All in color, right?
They're all in color. Yeah. There is a DC book that I forgot to mention was Crush and Lobo, and it looks like they're giving Lobo a girlfriend.
No, that's his daughter.
Oh,
Crush is his daughter. Yeah.
All right, and it seems like there's something about the Teen Titans going on with that. So
they have daughters too.
Yeah. Wow.
Teen pregnancies. It's a heavy thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's Noctera number 4, Deadly Class number 46. There's another Image comic that I wanted to talk about too. Where was that? Oh,
riveting.
I know. I'm sorry. Every time I go back to the page with the list, they start me at the beginning of it. Sorry.
Well, go down.
No, it's all good.
I did look at this before. So, if you guys are fans of Rick and Morty, there's Rick and Morty, Rick's New Hat, number 1 shot from Oni Press. He gets a new hat, fellas. It's exciting.
Good for him.
Amazing. Yeah, he needed one. His hair, it's not a good look. It's blue, spiky. I don't know. And then
listen, whatever you do, don't listen to Ron. Ron says, take your time, Todd. Do not listen to Ron. Over.
Commanders in Crisis number 9 is the other Image book that I want to talk about. Inkblot number 9, if you're into like witchcraft and comics about magic, that one's pretty compelling.
Nice.
And then the last one that I wanted to talk about was Tankers number 2 from Bad Idea Comics. So this is another apocalyptic story about an oil company trying to, sort of figure out how to get more oil before it's all gone. It's a time travel story, and they sort of go back to make sure more dinosaurs die so that there's more crude oil for them to get in the future, and they mess it up real bad.
That sounds stupid, but any way to keep us on fossil fuels, I'm in.
Yeah, of course you would be.
Yeah.
It
doesn't make any sense. They all die anyway. What does that mean?
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense.
That makes no sense.
I just got done listening to one of the Doctor Who radio dramas or audio dramas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a similar premise.
Yeah, so
but it didn't include dinosaurs. They were taking the elderly from the future and sending them into the past.
Wow.
So they get buried and become fossil fuels for the future.
That's a better storyline than going back to kill dinosaurs who are going to die anyway.
I mean, so I guess because I've read it and it's pretty good. The artwork's really great. Anybody who loves dinosaurs or loves looking at drawings of dinosaurs is going to love it. But so what happens is they tweak the asteroid that's supposed to kill the dinosaurs. So we're supposed to get another 500 millennia of dinosaurs, living and dying. So they're supposed to be building up in the crust, and eventually that meteor comes back to Earth to kill them. But it doesn't, and when they go back to the future, dinosaurs are still alive.
Well, Drew likes tankers. He's with you, Todd. I'm not reading it because, as we know, the dinosaurs weren't killed by a meteor. They were killed by a flood. So there you go. Anyway,
I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure that you think you don't think that they would have to go back 500 millennia. I think.
Oh no, they don't. They can only go back. They need only 6 to 10,000 years, maybe.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You
exactly.
idiot.
What? See, just keep adding zeros to make it better for your timeline. But yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Jesus
is that
Christ,
it? Is that it, Todd?
That was. I wanted to end it on a high note, and I think that the Bad Idea comics is definitely.
Well, it was get it while it's hot, because Bad Idea comics are a very limited run, and I do believe that Alika will be getting those. So check them out. I believe he will be getting them hopefully sometime this week, if not the next. Maui Comics is where to get them, and Maui Comics and Collectibles at Request Music in Wailuku. Check him out on the social medias at Facebook.com/Maui Comics and Collectibles, and on Instagram at Maui Comics. Now, according to St. Patrick, Dinosaur Hunter.
I know. Can I just say real quick?
Sure.
40 pages. It's $6. The writer is Robert Venditti. The artist is Juan Jose Rip. And the cover artist is Luis LaRosa. And Luis LaRosa has been really knocking it out of the park on all of these covers. So just the Bad Idea stuff is fantastic. If you get a chance to check it out. And you should, if you don't have a local comic book store that has it, contact Alika at Maui Comics.
Ooh, well.
Making a business over the internet.
Making them businesses. Well, here's some interesting news that I kind of wanted to share with y'all since we're moving on. It looks like I don't know if some of you know this or not. Reed Richards was on Maui. Okay, and Reed Richards, of course, as you know, the leader of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, Miles Teller.
Yeah, Reed Richards, aka Miles Teller.
I'm so sorry.
It took me a minute too. I was like, Mr. Fantastic was here. Oh, Mr. Fanforstic was here.
Yeah. Actor Miles Teller said he was attacked in a bathroom in Hawaii by 2 men, according to a tweet from the Whiplash star. Teller was on vacation and in Maui at the time with his wife, Kaylee Sperry, his Divergent co-star, Shailene Woodley, and her fiance, NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers. According to what had happened, quote, "I got jumped by 2 guys in a bathroom. Never met them before in my life, but yeah, cool. So that's what happened to him." On Friday, Teller's wife, Sperry, also responded to a TMZ story that claimed the dispute was about Teller owing money for the couple's wedding, writing in an Instagram story that those claims were false. This all happened, by the way, if you live on Maui, this happened at the Monkey Pod Kitchen over in Wailea.
No, it happened in Kaanapali.
It did? It said Monkey Pod.
Yeah, there's a Monkey Pod.
Oh, the Monkey Pod in Kaanapali. All right, well, then fine. Whatever, Todd. Since,
Sorry, bro.
Since you know so much about Hawaiian
Todd
culture.
with the fact checking.
I know.
Damn.
Jeez. Man. Yeah.
It's like Greg, go to the West Side once in a while.
Yeah. I don't even think they exist anymore in my brain. The story reported about Miles being punched in the face by a TMZ over money is completely false, according to Sperry. Miles was jumped by 2 men we have never met after they trapped him in a bathroom. So speedy recovery to Miles Teller, and I guarantee you from that altercation, he'll never be back to Hawaii again.
He'll probably go to another island.
I thought he had stretchy arms. I'm surprised he even got hit. So, I mean, I thought his arms would get him out of that kind of a situation, but obviously not.
That's not reality.
This is the first I'm hearing about the bathroom thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that you clarified that it was Monkey Pod, because I was like, no, they do bad things to people in the bathrooms at Camo, and don't.
Yeah, really.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what he's complaining about. I mean, it wasn't like it was the Macy's bathroom.
Shut up, Todd.
No, it wasn't a Macy's bathroom. Todd, you're wrong.
What?
It's not the Macy's bathroom. It's the Queen Kalamanu bathroom.
Yeah, it's the Queen Kalamanu bathroom. He's right. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure to report that because it happened here on Maui.
Outside of Macy's, like right next. To, oh, my bad.
Yeah. Moving on to another hot story. And I'm so glad that Alika isn't here to talk about this because we would talk about it for at least a half an hour. Nickelodeon is currently developing a new CG animated reboot yet again of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Seth Rogen and his longtime producing partner Evan Goldberg producing the project. Yeah, Seth Rogen. Such a loser. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what Rogen has planned for the project, but he recently shared a teaser image that fans might enjoy. The image is of a crumpled piece of paper with doodles and notes about the upcoming project. The note comes from Leonardo, and in the upper right corner, the release date of the film was revealed. That release date, August 11th, 2023. The other notes on the paper touch on different types of mutation, the importance of discipline, honor, and loyalty, which apparently Seth Rogen knows nothing about when it comes to his best friend, James Franco, by the way, and a note to apologize to April and more. You can check that out on Seth Rogen's mediocre Twitter feed if you want to go take a look at that. In a previous...
Why so many digs at Seth Rogen? Like he's funny.
Seth Rogen's a bitch, but don't get me started. In a previous interview, Rogen opened up about what they are looking to do with the new TMNT movie and how it will be different from the other iterations we've seen. He explained that this new film will lean more towards a teenage coming of age story, quote unquote. As a lifelong fan of Ninja Turtles, weirdly the teenage part of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was always the part that stuck out to me the most.
Oh man!
And as someone who loves
now we're gonna get turtles in school.
As someone who loves teenage movies and who's made a lot of teenage movies, and who literally got their start in their entire profession by writing a teenage movie, the idea of kind of honing in on that element was really exciting to us. I mean, not disregarding the rest, but really using that as a kind of a jumping off point for the film. But you can't talk about your teenage movie that you wrote because now, according to you, it's problematic. So yeah, if you're gonna talk about Superbad or whatever, I thought it was problematic now, Seth. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get a mediocre Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot from Seth Rogen and his partner Evan Goldberg.
Stance for you to be taking here, just
yeah, I know, just a little bit.
He doesn't like the hypocrisy of some celebrities going back and forth between this is fine or this is not fine.
Ron Cataguy talking about the news that happened before. As long as Aaron Rodgers is okay, yes, Ron. Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. I think he pulled a hammy, kicking himself in his own ass.
It looks like Joel says the Turtles will be smoking weed. Probably so. That's probably they're going to probably be.
Well, what I'm imagining, like in my head, is Ninja Turtles, but it's Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're in school and they're not in school. They're not going to classes or anything. They're just.
I think it should be Ninja Turtles, but super bad. And it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trying to find a way to get laid.
McLovin will be in TMNT, according to Joel. What's interesting is that
that's why they have that note saying apologize to April.
Nice
job, Todd.
Christopher Mintz
Todd, you just made it totally lot gross.
As one of the voices, I could see that. That's a possibility. So anyway, yeah, so that is some big news that we're going to see another reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
great.
I'm looking forward
Fantastic.
to that yet again. Good Lord.
Speaking of reboots,
yeah,
you guys hear about this Jungle Cruises thing?
If you're talking about the one starring The Rock and Emily Blunt, then speaking of Sticky Green, yes, I have.
Oh man, crazy.
So
are you going to actually go?
More Jungle Cruises, cruise control.
Are you going to go? Are you going to go back to the movie theater for this one, Greg?
Well, here's the thing: is that Jungle Cruise has officially been promoted now, coming to both theaters and to Disney Plus.
But for like $40 I mean, freaking dollars.
Freaking hell! What the
Jesus, Todd.
Jeez, Louise, Todd, watch your friggin' mouth.
Hey, hey, come on. Come on. Kirsten has been on this podcast before.
Yeah, you're not.
You can't Han Solo your way out of this.
She has cursed way more than I ever have in the last 6 years on this podcast.
Well, listen, I like your restraint, Todd, so keep using it. According to the report,
show you restraints.
Disney's Jungle Cruise will be in theaters and on Disney Plus July 30th. And that of course comes at an additional fee, probably $29.99, just like the rest of the movies. Jungle Cruise is directed by Jaume Collet-Serra, the man who's responsible for I believe one of the Taken movies, or at least two of the Taken movies, and Unknown starring Liam Neeson.
Taken 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, Taken 2 Electric Boogaloo. This was only announced recently because of the fact that it's coming to Disney Plus. They were both negotiating with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt about their contracts, because it's going to be both in theaters and on Disney Plus at the same time. So Jungle Cruise will be available to all Disney Plus members July 30th, and hopefully for us Hawaii Film Critics Society members a few days before the release for us, which I hope we get.
Your free copy.
Yeah, we get it. Hey! First of all,
Jungle Cruises.
It's an industry copy, first of all, and it's for people that are special.
Free copy.
Like Phormat and myself. So it's pretty sweet. Anyway, other than that, so that's big news. Thank you for reminding me their format of that.
Sure.
That looks pretty cool. Also, in some other news, it was released on social media by Taika Waititi and the one and only Chris Hemsworth that Thor: Love and Thunder has wrapped filming. It is officially wrapped, and it's going into post-production, special effects and all the like. But all the filming has wrapped, and it looks like it's officially on the way to becoming the fourth Thor movie. So so that's kind of exciting. By the way, if you have not seen the picture if you have not seen the picture of Chris Hemsworth's freaking arms are huge, and I think they're huge. Number one, because he works out like a beast, but number two, I also think they're big because not only is he going to be Thor, but he also has the Hulk Hogan biopic that he's also doing. So he's got some 24-inch.
The biopic.
Yeah, the biopic. Biopic. The biographical picture. The biopic.
You know, when they insert a thing into your body to get a sample out, and then they run tests. Biopic.
Yeah, biopic.
Isn't that that's I thought that was something different.
No. It's the biopic. Biopic. You know,
wait. So
adaptation, the same thing,
hey,
Todd.
It's not adaptate. There's no adaptate.
That's
not a word.
It's adaptation, Todd.
But there's no adaptate. There's no word. There's biopsy. And there's biopic, but there's no biopic.
All right. If this were a language podcast, I would tear you apart right now. But this is a pop culture podcast. We're not talking about the English language.
Right. Is this episode being pushed by Grammarly? Is that what's going on?
I think it is.
Get Grammarly so you don't talk like these jagholes.
That's absolutely
awesome.
Right.
Hey,
so
Carl.
anyway,
use our affiliate link. Smash the likes and hit those bells.
So just so you know, once again, that Thor: Love and Thunder has completed filming and should be in theaters on time. Also, I know I'm going through a lot, so if you guys have any other ones that you want to spit out, let me know. Also, just to let you know, Todd Phillips was given.
That's not me.
Todd Phillips, not you.
It's a different guy.
Yeah, no, seriously, he's accomplished something in his life. It's interesting.
Yeah, Todd Phillips is that music group. It's the girls. They sang "Hold On."
Hey, Todd Phillips, isn't that the guy that did Welcome to the Dollhouse or something?
No, Todd Phillips is the director and writer of Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix. It looks like Todd Phillips has been given time by Warner Brothers to write a sequel to Joker. Which unfortunately, I'm actually with you guys because I don't think it needs one, to be honest with you. But
we didn't need a first one either.
Well, technically, you're right. We didn't. But yes, they're working on a treatment for a second film in the Joker franchise. So just be prepared for that. They are writing it, and if they
should do that SNL's Oscar the Grouch sketch instead.
What's that?
You haven't seen it?
No.
The Oscar the Grouch SNL sketch.
He doesn't watch SNL anymore.
That's set up after Joker. It's so good. It stars David Harbour.
Oh yeah, that is really good.
I missed it.
Like they should do that instead.
But the cold open had Alec Baldwin as Trump, so G Money's never gonna watch it.
Well, that's because Saturday Night Live is garbage and out of ideas.
If you mean hilarious and still relevant to people under 40, then
really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
sure.
all right.
Yeah, it's garbage. Anyway, they're not funny anymore, but that's okay. It's because they're all woke.
Well, that sketch is funny.
I will check out that. I will check that sketch out.
I mean, you're gonna like it, but you're gonna hate watch it.
I'm gonna hate watch it.
Hate watch it.
Speaking of hate watching, this is a story we did not report on last week, but I wanted to maybe talk about because this is what I had been saying, and I think this podcast had been saying for quite some time. It looks like in an interview with filmmaker J.J. Abrams, which will span the entirety of his career. It's an upcoming interview, and that means it includes significant statements about his work on the latest Star Wars trilogy, from the sound of things, 17 months of distance from his last Star Wars film, of course, The Rise of Skywalker, have given him either the clarity or the cushion needed to speak frankly on what the film arguably flubbed. Ahead of the full interview publication, which takes advantage of the upcoming 10th anniversary Blu-ray of Abrams' Super 8, which I don't know why it needs a 10th anniversary edition. I didn't think it was that much of a classic.
It's pretty effing good, man.
No, it is. I'm not going to lie. It's good, but I don't think it needed like a 10th anniversary edition.
It needs
maybe a 20th anniversary edition.
I don't know. It's
give some time.
Collider released an excerpt last week, Wednesday, focusing on his directing and co-writing work on both episodes 7 and 9. The takeaway seems loud and clear. The new trilogy as a whole, which he bookended, would have benefited from more consistency. Abrams' quotes in isolation may sound like he's speaking about the entirety of his career, but they're specifically in response to Collider's question about the director and writer handoff between entries in the Rey trilogy. His answer includes a bigger picture estimation about what best laid plans, hinting to issues with a single actor or when a relationship as written doesn't quite work. Having a plan is the most critical. By contrast, other things that you think like, oh, that's a small moment or that's a one episode character suddenly become a hugely important part of the story. According to Abrams, with a full pandemic-based lockdown behind him, Abrams says he has had more time to work with writers to develop upcoming content, and he was reflecting on Star Wars as a whole. So the sequel trilogy was lacking any consistent plan in order to make it good. They were making it up as they go along, as par for the course with J.J. Abrams on the majority of his projects, one of them being, of course, Star Wars. And as we all said, even though he was only in it for a minimal amount of time, Lost, which had no plan whatsoever to end. So, yeah. Anyway, so J.J. Abrams admits to the fact that, he had no plan for 7 or 9. So that's... not shocking.
Well, it was kind of obvious at the last movie, okay?
Huh?
What do you mean, huh?
What was that? What did you say again?
I say it was kind of obvious.
Yeah, and I think that's what's interesting, and I'm glad he's more than willing to reflect on that. because I think that I mean, we're 2 years out from that, and I think he knows the failures of that sequel trilogy, and he's willing to admit that fact. There was no consistency. They had no plan, and it probably would have been better to have used Lucas's plan and build around that, as opposed to trying to scrap the whole thing and just come up with something out of thin air. But hey, that's just me. But anyone else?
Consistency? There was space, and there was planets.
It's true. It's a good point.
And all three of those, and
All right.
ships.
All right, fair enough.
I still hate
aliens in all three of them. All three of them.
I still hate number 8.
So hey, listen, did they? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think that 8's better than 9.
9 is the result of 8. You want to go there?
7, 8, 9.
Actually, to be fair, 7,
which is the reason why 6 is afraid of 7.
That's true. 7 has nothing. 8 has nothing to do with 9. 8 is 7 and 9 are the things that are connected. 8 is like nothing in between. It almost means nothing. But
it's really funny because every time we mention Star Wars,
right,
it seems like Phormat and Greg get into an argument about it.
We don't have an argument about it. I don't think Phormat. Have we ever argued about Star Wars? Okay, there it is. Right,
you guys argued about whether or not the Force was balanced at the end of the original trilogy for it seemed like 2 or 3 hours in front of me. I learned a lot. I think that we shared our feelings, and it was wonderful.
We weren't on the
tears. There was laughing.
And if I'm not mistaken, Phormat and I weren't arguing. Phormat and I actually agreed because in order for the Dark
Phormat was right. Phormat did not agree with you.
No, Phormat and I agreed.
Phormat told you what was up, and you were like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'm stupid."
No, because what I said was
we're arguing.
No, because what I said is that the reason there's no my point was that there is no real balance to the Force. Right?
Yeah, but that's the opposite of what Phormat was saying.
No, but Phormat was saying the same thing, is that there is no real balance to the Force. Either you have too much good or you have too much bad. There is no balance.
No, but you guys argued about whether or not the Force was brought into balance at the end of the original trilogy.
I don't remember that, but if we did Phormat, if you're
I'm not saying you guys got angry at each other. I'm just saying it was a pretty healthy nerd debate about.
Yeah.
I
agree.
You guys relied on your esoteric knowledge of Star Wars, and it was fantastic.
Good. It was a great discussion, and I won. And
that's how I felt. That's how I felt, and I feel like America would also agree with you had it been on the podcast.
Jackoffs. Anyway, moving on to other news. This
I don't know. I mean. Did we balance the Force yet? Did we know if that
the balance?
How are we going to move on if we don't know if the Force is balanced, Greg?
I don't.
Well, I got something. Apparently, it's official that Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight, which I thought was a regular. I thought everybody knew already.
Yeah, so did I. I agree.
But they had to do like a press release or something like that.
There was a press release.
Yeah,
Oscar Isaac is officially the Moon Knight or whatever, and I was just like,
"Jeez,
who didn't know that?"
it seems super weird. I agree with you.
I need to see.
Was there a campaign saying he wasn't?
I thought we already had.
Maybe it was Shia LaBeouf.
Oh man, that guy! He's still trying to do it.
Yeah, it was.
He was trying to get it.
What's interesting is that now. Now that the quote unquote cat's out of the bag with Oscar Isaac.
Really?
The thing that everybody knew already.
At least we know that if Oscar Isaac is committed to doing this role, I'm completely down with if he's the right guy. So I'm very excited to see him in this role as far as that goes. Moon Knight has a lot of potential, which no one has really ever tapped. So I think Moon Knight, if done right, will.
Whoa! If done right, whoa!
Dude. Anyway, if done right, I think it could be a success for Disney Plus. So I'm looking forward to it. So
that is definitely one of those layers of a character type characters. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty stoked for it.
And think about this. Now, once again, this is a character that's probably gonna get if they do it right, we'll get a lot of love from people who don't have any idea who Moon Knight is.
Yeah, and then they'll just all forget about Batman. That's
right.
I mean,
they'll be like, "What? There's a better Batman? Oh my god!"
Mm-hmm. If things don't work out with Warner Media, it's that may just be the case. Super exciting news. I can't wait to see this the Moon Knight series. It should be a lot of fun. And we do have, by the way, Loki coming up very soon, I believe. As well. Soon. Speaking of, Loki should be out. I think isn't it June 10th, if I'm not mistaken. Loki should start on June 10th. Speaking of Marvel series, June 9th, according to this, next week Wednesday. Look, I'm
that's right.
That. Yep,
because they bumped it up, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've got the new Marvel series coming out. That's of course on the heels of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this will be the villain's turn at holding up a series. So we shall see.
I don't. Well, yeah, I guess technically, because he's still like a baddie at the end of all that.
Well, yeah,
WandaVision. I'm assuming you're talking about.
No, because the version of Loki that goes back with the Tesseract, which is the reason why he drew the eyes of the Time Agency or whatever, was the bad Loki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because good Loki got choked out.
Yeah. By the way, Todd, I just got your message while you're running late, and you're disgusting. Anyway.
I had tacos for dinner.
Okay.
I couldn't.
Sure you did.
I couldn't.
Well, it's Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday. I wish I had tacos.
Tacos are amazing.
All right, if you say so. Anyway, just a couple more things.
I think I still have some tacos in my teeth.
You sicken me. I just want to let everybody know that this Friday, let me make sure I have if that is correct. This Friday is the premiere of Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It on HBO Max and in theaters. So the third in the Conjuring series will be hitting both HBO Max and in theaters. Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It will be the latest in the franchise, and this kind of kicks off. HBO Max's summer of movies, because we've got quite a lineup for them for this year on HBO Max. If you happen to have the service, so make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be really neat. And I'm a fan of The Conjuring and that series of films by James Wan, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. James Wan is just producing this one. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's directed by a gentleman by the name of Michael Chavez. And according to the reports, they say that that this movie also shares a lot of David Fincher's Seven, because it was a big reference point when developing the story. So that's actually
lots of boxes.
Cool. Yeah. Well,
we'll never know what's in them.
One important box format, just one important box. All right.
Well, James Wan is great, but it's James 2 you need to be worried about.
Wow. I can't believe you went there. All right. That's fair. Anywho,
I thought it was like Jimmy Two Fists.
Oh dear Lord.
Jimmy Two Guns.
Jimmy Two Guns.
Jimmy Two Lips.
He's in the botany.
He's in the flower arranging. No.
Oh no, not at all. Anyway,
bummer.
Hey, did we talk about old?
Yeah.
I can't remember if we talked about it on the last podcast.
We did not. I did. If you guys want, by the way, I want to say this. We will watch the trailer if you want to, but we got we didn't get flagged for it, but we did get a marker on our show because we played the trailer for last night in Soho, which was really interesting.
Really?
But I will.
What's the marker for?
Since we're talking about The Conjuring, let's. If you have not seen it yet, I can also play the. I can also play the trailer for M. Night Shyamalan's brand new film, which is coming out, which is called Old. If you guys have not seen it yet, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Spoiler alert. They're all dead people.
Spoiler alert. It's about cheddar cheese, and it's better with age.
Stop it. Anyway, why don't I do that right now? And this will be the last. This will be the last of the movie segment. We'll move on to some games and releases for Tuesday as well. Coming up here shortly.
I had one more.
Anything else, Phormat? You do? Okay, we can do it.
Yeah, because we didn't talk about the two infinites.
Oh, that's the other one.
Infinites and the one in the infinites.
Yeah, we'll talk about Infinite as well. I will also show the trailer for Infinite as well.
But there's they're referred to as an infinite, like there's more than one infinite. It's like, hey, man, you are an infinite, which would lead me to believe that there's more than one. And then meanwhile, Marky Mark's like, hey, guy,
how's your mother?
How you doing?
How you doing?
All right, well, let's get to Old
Say
first.
hello to your mother for me.
With Mark Wahlberg. Here we go. This is the brand new trailer for Infinite from M. Night Shyamalan.
I like that it takes place on a beach because all this woman looks like she's drier than sand.
We never leave.
What the hell is wrong with you?
What? You gonna tell me that she's got that whack?
That's just.
I think the best part is when Miles Teller gets punched in the face.
Wow.
Beautiful piece of land, wherever that is.
Oh, it's the east side.
Whoa. Who would leave this? From the hotel! They're so rusted!
What's happening?
You know,
Stuff from the hotel
I know for people that are listening, sometimes we're playing these trailers is very uninteresting. But what I do find fascinating about this old trailer is how M. Night Shyamalan is fascinated with becoming old. Like in the movie The Visitor, M. Night Shyamalan is the visitor. Same kind of difference, I think.
What happened to her mom?
I don't know.
Very cool.
What happened to her?
The body has decomposed.
How quickly can that happen?
7 years.
But she just died.
Wait, where are the
Wow.
Trent,
Kara!
come here.
Hey, have you seen my children?
Mom,
It's the guy from Lost.
I'm right here.
And his son is super old now, or older. That's the kid from Hereditary.
Dad, why are you looking at me like that? What's happening to us?
My daughter just turned 6 2 weeks ago.
Mom?
Whatever's happening to us is happening very fast.
You have wrinkles. There's something wrong with this beach.
What's happening?
Mom! 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 I'm scared! We have to get off this beach.
She was bloated.
Blacking out going this way. If she makes it to the ledge, she might have a chance. Why is she stopping? Why's she stopping? Kara, wake up! Wake up! They have to know what this place does. I don't know! You're lying! Look!
What is that?
A message.
We never leave each other. Nothing separates us.
We're connected to something bigger.
Oh no. We're here for a reason.
And they were dead the whole time. Old, July 23rd. Yeah, very cool. That actually looks really neat. I will say this, and this is a really stupid observation. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you guys
Makes sense. It's coming from you.
Okay, it's a really stupid observation. If they're older, right?
Yeah.
If they become old, they come out from behind the rocks and now they're older. Here's my question. how is it that the bathing suit still fits?
That's a good question.
I mean, he's wearing the same trunks, and she's wearing the same bikini, and they fit. Like, so I don't know. It bothered me when I was watching that trailer. So anyway, that is M. Night Shyamalan's Old, which hits theaters July 23rd.
I can't.
Alika says that he's in the chat. Thanks for being here, by the way, you jerk. He says that the bathing suit is aging too. So
all the other like the glasses, and they said that like the stuff from the hotel is all rusted.
Yeah, right. So why wouldn't? How are they still fitting in the trunks? Wouldn't the trunks?
The trunks age. The trunks get older also. Because if you look at
it's Hulk logic.
But the sunglasses are all cracked and
right
and getting and aging also. Like they're rusting and everything. You see that at the beginning of the
right. But why would a 6-year-old's swim trunks still fit on like a 19-year-old kid?
Why would a pair of sunglasses completely disintegrate?
Okay, all right.
For the same reason.
All of your really provocative questions will be answered July 23rd, only in theaters, and the movie.
My only provocative question is like, why wasn't Betty White asked to be in this movie?
How dare you? She's a treasure.
She's old.
You're such a bastard. Anyway,
I would have watched. I watch her do anything on the beach. Anything.
Who knows? Maybe she's at the end of it.
Last but not least, hey, she's the best thing about one of my favorite movies, Lake Placid, by the way. So, last but not least, let's get right to it. Just like Phormat said, this is a movie that was unexpectedly coming to Paramount Plus. If you do not have it already, Paramount Plus, of course, is CBS All Access repackaged. This is the movie that will be premiering shortly, starring the one and only, say hi to your mother for me, Mark Wahlberg. Here is
Marky
Infinite.
Wahlberg.
It's too bad nobody's going to see this.
June 10th. Oh, next week with Loki. Wow.
Evan McCauley. Diagnosed
How you doing?
at 14. After carving the words, "Look inside," into your chest with a box cutter. Look inside.
That's spelled
By
backwards.
those words.
Plus, I think it's just a rash.
Which one of these is yours?
Look, you could skip the whatever the hell this is because none of that is mine.
Hey, goat.
How you doing?
Is it yours?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Jesus.
Every time you say, "I don't know," this trigger gets pulled. Is it yours?
Look, I don't know.
Are you out of your mind?
Last chance, Evan.
Is this yours?
Hello, old friend.
How did he know she was coming through the wall?
Because he's infinite.
Oh. You think it's like a spider sense? Like an infinite sense?
June
Good
10th.
thing that guy ducked.
This isn't your first life, Evan.
I think he goosed.
You are infinite. You've lived
You're an infinite? What's that all about?
and died 1,000 times.
You're talking about reincarnation.
If you can remember who you were, you will understand who you can become.
I don't get the logic there.
So that is the brand new movie starring Mark Wahlberg. Mr. Say Hi to Your Mother for Me himself.
That's Marky Mark. Feel it.
Yeah.
Wahlberg there.
Yeah. And now what is interesting about that trailer is, number one, it came as a surprise to Mark Wahlberg and the filmmaker Antoine Fuqua because they thought it was going to premiere in theaters. Now, of course, Antoine Fuqua and Mark Wahlberg are no strangers to one another. They, of course, have worked together before in the film Shooter. Starring Mark Wahlberg. So they have I guess a professional working relationship.
Infinite's Mark Wahlberg?
Yes,
Wow.
Infinite's Mark Wahlberg. So, I mean, Shooter could be his past, or is it, or his future? No.
Maybe.
It seems like a cool concept, but I could have swore we've done this idea before, maybe. But it seems like a cool concept. I think this is a way to. This is actually a good stepping stone for Paramount Plus if people are debating on whether or not to get that.
It's a good stepping stone for Marky Mark. I mean, oh man, that guy.
Yeah,
who knows where his career could go?
Who knows where his career could go?
Takes off? Oh,
all
man.
those movies on Netflix that he has, all those Transformers movies that's making him millions of dollars.
No, those don't exist.
Hey, you stop it. That's not true.
Those
so
Transformers movies do not exist.
So if you're listening and just heard the trailers, just know Infinite. Check out the trailer on YouTube. Infinite will be hitting Paramount Plus June 10th. So next week, same as Loki, next week, June 10th, we will see a new movie from Mark Wahlberg. He had been working on this, I think, for a couple of years, even before. I think this was happening like during COVID.
He's been working on this infinitely. Loki's on the 9th, by the way.
Yeah. Big shout out to Kirsten, who's in the chat. There was no pubes talk, by the way. You didn't miss it. Also, Kirsten says, when are y'all recording in person? Never, because no one's vaccinated. Well, I don't know if that's. I don't know.
I'm vaccinated.
True. Oh, are you? All right.
Phormat's vaccinated.
All right. Well, we're gonna see what happens.
I was one of the first.
All right. We're going to see what happens to you guys first, and then if anything happens like anytime soon,
I'm fine.
Maybe.
Well, every now and then I can see into the future. But other than that, I'm good.
What do you see?
So,
is it your life or is it someone else's?
Phormat and I are now in Infinite.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens to you guys first, and then maybe, just maybe.
Well, I mean, at the very least, we're not going to die of COVID-19, you know.
Oh. Hey, who knows? Because there's a new strain of bird flu out as well now.
Yeah, but that's not COVID.
That's not COVID.
How dare you? It all comes from animals. It's all Corona. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what the hell. Right? But yeah, there's a new bird flu. It's crazy.
Oh, man. Anyway. That Mexican beer is going to take out everybody.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
Because you're an anti-vax?
I'm not anti-vaxxer, but I just feel like this is.
Oh man. So So anyway, it's fascinating to me that we should be we may be getting in person soon. Who knows? We shall see. But that'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure that once we get into any kind of once we find a solid place to maybe do it together, the podcast, I should say. That's bad language. But yeah, so we'll think about it. Hey, Kirsten's right. Maybe if I go get my vaccine and they mix up the vials with super soldier serum, oh man. Oh
no, the world's not ready for a Jack G. That's just weird.
You'll be a super soldier, but you'll be dead of COVID.
Exciting. Yes, that's exciting. Now that you said that, listen. Now that Kirsten said that, I'm a little more excited now to get vaccinated. If I can become Captain America, I'm in. All right, I'm in.
Enough. This is weird.
Anyway, Phormat.
Yo.
Listen, let's move on. Do you have anything on your list that we haven't touched yet before I move on to some interesting gaming news?
Let's see. The only other thing I had was they're bringing Dexter back.
Did you watch the little teaser for that, by the way?
I missed it. I just had someone message me saying, "Hey, Dexter's coming back," and I was like, "Oh, okay. I better throw that in the pot." But I didn't see anything on it. I do know that he's not where he was. Like he moved to a new place, so it's a new, it's a whole new thing. Apparently, he left his kid with the other serial killer. So I don't know.
Oh wow!
Such a great fodder.
I saw the trailer for it, or not. It's not even a trailer. It's like a little tiny teaser. He's in a snowy village town or something, in that movie. So it looks kind of. I mean, it looks interesting, I guess. I mean, as far as that goes, anything is better than what they left us with, by the way. So anyway, well, that's exciting. We're gonna see a brand new extension to the Dexter franchise, which would be a lot of fun. Now. Was that it, Phormat, that you had on that list?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I had.
Well, getting into some gaming news, and this is ironic how these things actually kind of coalesce, because this is not just gaming news, but this is also some interesting movie news. Because I'm going to run a trailer that I don't know if a lot of people knew existed, because I didn't see it get much play at all. This is from IFC Films. And get this, you'll be surprised who is also working on this film. This is a film called Werewolves Within.
Should affect our snowshoes.
What? People do that?
Fun fact, not only is it the oldest, but remains one of the most effective means of traversing the ice.
Wow. Yeah, you're gonna fit right in at Beaverfield.
And you'll see how this is game related momentarily.
Questionable.
I see.
The weather. Everything.
The girl from the AT&T commercials is in this.
Oh.
Yeah. Melina Vaintraub.
Ubisoft.
Well, the roads are effed, and something's wrong with the generator.
Which generator?
All of them.
Can't get on the internet.
Also, there's a dead body under your porch. Holy!
Probably a wolf.
Would you like a wolf, Detective Mel Marcus? Who knows? Who? Or when? It's gonna kill next.
I think we can all agree that it's unsafe outside and there's safety in numbers. Out of curiosity, who is packing? Well, we're having a good old-fashioned sleepover.
With guns, though.
With guns, yes.
Everything about this predator is unorthodox. It's not human. It's not canine.
It's one of them.
One of what? A what?
A werewolf.
How could it gotten in here? How did they get out?
Who says it got out?
Maybe.
I'm a werewolf.
Maybe you're a werewolf. Maybe you're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. Maybe we're all werewolves.
Are we really in a Mexican standoff right now?
Baby, don't say Mexican.
We're probably just gonna head out. We're just pull it.
We got it on our own. It's just hey, you go ahead. Please, don't spare me.
Oh, please don't. Oh, please. Please don't bother the lock.
Me.
Oh my goodness! I could have gotten it.
God,
Now, what's interesting about that trailer is the fact that, like I said, I didn't realize that Ubisoft was in the movie production business. I thought that they were using their own properties as fodder for movies, not the other way around. Now, unless I'm mistaken, I didn't know Werewolves Within was a game. Was it?
Yeah. Werewolf is.
Yeah.
It's also known as Mafia, and it's more commonly known right now as Among Us.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is okay. So what you're saying is this is like the sus game Among Us. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, I mean that does make sense, because the very first thing that came to mind when I saw it is that it felt like and this is, you can tell I'm old. It felt like a very much like an Agatha Christie novel. because you're stuck in the room with the murderer or something like that. So that's what it kind of felt like to me. Well, that actually makes a lot more sense now. Now, I don't know about you guys, but after watching that trailer, it does look really good.
It does. I was more enthralled by Milena Vaintrub, but then the Ubisoft thing popped up, and I was like, oh,
Well,
that's what this is.
I think that we are all wrong because look at this. I can't believe it. Werewolves Within is an Ubisoft game.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Check
there you go.
this out. I didn't know that.
I
It was a
just said yes.
VR game for PS4. Werewolves Within from Ubisoft. I had no idea. Wow. Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm kind of Kirsten says in the chat Clue or like Clue. Yeah, I agree. It's like kind of like Clue too. I hope it's good. It looks really fun. Werewolves Within it'd be nice to have a fun little horror comedy, and it looks like that could be the one. So I'm sold. And that's exactly what Kirsten says. Kirsten says that she is also sold on this.
Yeah.
So I'm in. It looks like a lot of fun. I think it could be.
I mean,
lot of fun.
after those awesome Assassin's Creed movies, I'm so hyped for this. So good.
Anything after Assassin's Creed could get you excited for that. I agree. 100%.
This is leaps and bounds, like
yeah.
Like way above what I was expecting from anything Ubisoft after the Assassin's Creed movies.
Can I be the one that actually says that I didn't think the Assassin's Creed movie was that bad? I know it's an unpopular opinion.
It's not. It's just very slow, and
it's really
very
slow. I agree.
I was like, man, I really thought we'd be diving into more bales of hay by now.
Absolutely.
Apparently not.
Listen, speaking of games, I was trying to call Kai a couple of days ago because big news.
What were you trying to call him?
Let me guess. It's a freaking PS5.
A goof. Yeah, I was going to call him about the PS5 because I still want one, that bastard.
I'm right here.
Why?
But here's
May
the
I
other
ask
thing.
why?
What's that?
Why you want a PS5? Like the only thing that's really good on the system hasn't come out yet. So like, why are you?
I want one. I'm jonesing to get one because I have.
Is it a status thing?
No.
So you can lord it over the other PS plebes.
No. The reason why is that my buddies got a couple of them in the mainland and they want me to play with them.
Always blaming your friends.
Gotta blame my friends. I blame everybody. So damn it, Kai, will you help me out with this?
I am helping you. I'm also telling you, you need to calm the hell down about this. You're not going to get one right now. Even
snap,
Sony,
son! You heard that?
Sony,
Kai's laying it down. He's like, you ain't getting none.
Okay, wait. First of all, the moment that Target throw this online, it's like 2:00 in the morning, Hawaii Standard, because over the mainland they
like
like 5, 7, whatever nonsense it is.
Well,
but
listen,
secondly,
PS5,
you're gonna get it eventually when they decide to make more.
Denied
when I said more,
status
I mean
is set to infinite.
Well,
see how I brought that back around? That was cool.
I wanted to get this was my point of the PlayStation, and I wanted to get this out as far as gaming news. In the wake of the revelation that Epic has been forced to cut a special deal with Sony for Fortnite crossplay on PlayStation, paying them extra to make up potential microtransaction revenue shortfalls. Okay, everybody was wondering what that meant. Okay,
all I heard there is that people are excited to play Fortnite on the PS5.
Well, no. It's the reason why is because Epic and Sony want to make money on those transactions. Well,
same thing for
just a few days ago, Gearbox's Randy Pitchford announced, get this, that Borderlands 3 was getting an upcoming patch to support crossplay on all platforms.
I give out that.
But the publisher here would be 2K. But this appears is a shot at Sony, albeit the phrasing is a bit weird. The implication is that perhaps Sony is refusing to allow crossplay or demanding a similar deal to Epic for some extra cash that 2K simply won't agree to. Hence, get this, no crossplay on PlayStation for Borderlands. So, unlike Fortnite, Borderlands 3 does not have microtransactions, but the game is still sold new, and it sells add-ons like DLC or season passes. In the case of Fortnite, Sony's issue was if players spend the majority of their playtime on PlayStation but spend money on a different storefront, Epic was required to pay some of the difference to Sony. It's not clear how that kind of deal would work with Borderlands 3's structure, nor that even if there was such a deal that 2K or Gearbox would agree to it. Publicly, Sony's position on crossplay has been about security, quote unquote, and not being able to vouch for a game experience on platforms other than the PlayStation Network. Privately, as revealed through the Epic v. Apple case, the Epic versus Apple case, Sony was much more blunt. Here's Sony's Gio Corsi talking to Epic, quote, "As you know, many companies are exploring this idea, and not a single one can explain how cross-console play improves the PlayStation business. The real reason for Sony's opposition is that they likely want to snowball their console sales lead. In their eyes, it does not benefit Sony if PlayStation Borderlands 3 players can play with Xbox Borderlands 3 players. Sony would rather that second person buy a PlayStation to play with their friend. Now multiply that times 115 million PS4 sales, and you see why Sony wants to use that massive install base to pressure even more sales." So
it's kind of obvious.
It's a very interesting. It's interesting in the effect of that. I understand Sony, and I understand where they're coming from. But the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, I think that as far as being a gamer, I think it actually promotes people to buy the other system. Just because I have an Xbox doesn't mean I don't want a PlayStation, or vice versa. Matter of fact, I would want both. That would be the benefit. The only thing as a console player that I don't want to play with PC players. I want to play with console players only. I don't want to play with PC guys. I don't want to deal with their crap or their hacking or their cheating. I don't want to deal with it as a console player. I just want to play with console players. And the fact is now that I will not be able to play Borderlands 3 with Kai because he has it on PS4 and I have it on Xbox Series X. Which
well,
really
actually,
sucks.
you and me might actually play because I'm transitioning over to PC majority of all my games.
Wow. It seems now, listen, I understand where Sony's coming from, but it almost seems counterintuitive because you're building your own player base, but I do understand that Sony wants to sell consoles. Here is Sony's biggest problem. Sony does not have enough consoles to sell.
More to PS5.
Right, and Sony does not have enough consoles to sell. And I tell you what, you can say somebody will pick up a PS4, but I don't think that's the point. The point is they want to sell PS5s. And now that they don't have enough, and because of the chip shortage, and the reason why it's taking so long to get these consoles out there, they need to start realizing if they want to build their player base and get people excited about a PlayStation 5, they need to promote playing with others that are not part of the PlayStation network. That's my opinion, but then again, I'm not running a multi-million-dollar company like Sony is, so that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, anybody else have thoughts? Phormat, Kai, thoughts on this before we move on?
I think you hit it right on the nail, or the head of the nail, or I don't know what the phrase is.
Right. I hit the nail on the watermelon.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we game, right? So we can play with our friends, like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the line, Sony lost that message. I know Microsoft lost that message earlier in the game, but it seems like they're revisiting it. So they're getting to a point where they're better at it. Nintendo, for example, has never lost that message. They've always been pumping out whatever new things that they have with that in mind, with you playing with friends and whatnot.
And having fun. That was the main
and
thing.
and having fun. Yeah, that's the main thing for them. So
that's what's interesting. I'm so glad you brought that up because I didn't think about that. You know, Nintendo may not be the one that keeps up with teraflops and graphics cards and having the biggest and best console.
Yeah.
But the thing about Nintendo is that the majority of games are fun to play, and I get to play with my friends.
And they're easy to get.
Right. Exactly. And to be
fair, you don't
fair,
need to jump through hoops.
Right.
And sign up for a different client thing just to get, whatever the DLC thing is. It's all on the chip.
And to be fair to Nintendo, I will say that the friend code thing for the Switch is a bit convoluted. I really don't like that. I wish they had just like a standard.
It is, but if you approach that with the same theory that Sony has for, security or whatever.
Yeah, right.
It makes sense to do it that way. And once you're in, you're in. Like there's no having to like redo the code every single time.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
A good point. Yeah. Good point.
So Nintendo is batting 1,000. They're doing good. Every time someone thinks, the market is going down and Nintendo is going bankrupt, do not worry about Nintendo. Nintendo is just fine.
Nintendo will always be around.
I am so excited for Nintendo right now. I am real, and this is just because I'm kind of a dork, but I love the fact that in 3 weeks I'm going to be able to play Mario Golf on my Switch. That new Mario Golf Rush game looks awesome.
Good.
It looks so exciting. I cannot wait.
As a fan of the Hot Shot series, Mario Golf is quite good.
And the fact that they installed a really cool story mode in it, like a campaign, and they ended up doing this whole new Golf Rush thing, which is kind of like it's Super Mario Golf and Mario Kart kind of mashed together, which is super cool. I'm super excited. I've already pre-ordered it. I cannot wait to play it. It looks fantastic. And what's so funny is I bring out my Switch. I ended up in the very beginning when I bought my Switch, I ended up buying all of these games that were like, I ended up buying like The Witcher 3 and all of these other games that you can get on any other console. But I realized that I'm buying a Nintendo so I can play Nintendo games on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just, a lot of people don't understand that. They want, they want all games for all systems. I will say Witcher 3 on Nintendo is a revelation. It's actually, I don't know how they did it, but they did. But I will say that the only reason I have a Switch is to play Nintendo games. So
that's fair.
So I mean,
I'm a big fan of portable units. So going back, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, Pocket, and all of that stuff. And then when the Sony came out with the PSP, like those things were awesome. And seeing the Switch as it's a portable unit, but at the same time, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
it's
right.
such a great console.
Yeah, because
I really wish I had one.
It almost doesn't get. You really don't. You almost don't care whether or not if it's 1080p or 720 or what the graphics look like, because that's not the point of having a Switch. That's not the point.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when they were doing the Horizon, what is it, Westward Tales or whatever the hell, when they were doing the Sony premiere event, the only thing that kept running through my head is that the premiere was showing at 30 frames a second. And I was just like, this is garbage. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But if it was a Nintendo thing, I'd be like, oh man, this looks awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even at 30 frames.
Yeah.
It's true. It wouldn't matter.
But because of the power and whatnot that they always tout about the PS5, that's the first thing you go to.
Agreed. 100%. 100%. Well, listen, I have got that was the biggest gaming news of the week. Kai is going to look for a PlayStation 5 for me. That's also big news. But
no, Kai is not going to look for your PlayStation 5. I keep telling
yeah,
you,
you are, you dirty bastard. But of course, every single Tuesday,
dirty bastard.
Okay, those are fighting words now. Someone needs to get whooped in Mario.
I love how you're greasing them up.
Yeah, I'm trying to grease them up.
Yeah, dirty bastard.
You dirty
like
bastard. Really quick here, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to have Blu-rays here coming up momentarily. But I do want to let you guys know that, of course, with a brand new month comes brand new movies from Netflix. And we can look forward to some new Netflix series exclusives. One being Sweet Tooth coming out on June 4th, based on the Marvel comic, which should be very cool. That's
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, excuse me. What? Did I say
Sweet
Marvel?
Tooth?
Is DC. Excuse me.
It's a Vertigo comic.
It's a Vertigo. DC Vertigo.
First, it was an independent comic that won a Xeric grant to actually exist.
Your mic is muted and no picture, and now all of a sudden you pipe up.
Because he was drinking.
Then it won it. The Peter Laird of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fame put together a grant for comic book artists in the 90s and early aughts to self-publish their own comic books. And they didn't have any money. It cost about $4 or $5 grand to self-publish a comic book. And he was giving out grants for people to self-publish their own comic book. Jeff Lemire won the Xeric grant, which is no small feat, and then self-published it. And then DC Comics, through their Vertigo imprint, which doesn't exist anymore, picked up Sweet Tooth. It's a wonderful comic book. And then that launched Jeff Lemire's career. He's gone on to, superstar status. But, and recently they just did a 6-issue Sweet Tooth Returns, which is also fantastic. The artwork is very unique. It's not mainstream superhero comic books. It's not mainstream DC or mainstream Marvel stuff. And it's fantastic. It is absolutely the absolute opposite of anything Marvel's ever done.
Jeez, sorry, Todd. I didn't mean to offend you. I meant Vertigo.
This is the comic book about furries, right?
No. Well, sort of, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
What is it, Todd? One or the other?
It's not about furry. I mean, people start growing horns. They're trying to figure out why. And it leads to the apocalypse. It's actually a really heartbreaking story if you read the whole 4 volumes. But I recommend it to everybody. And actually, I don't know if the Netflix series can actually live up to it. So maybe watch the Netflix series first and then go back and read the books. Because if you read the books first, you might not enjoy the Netflix series.
This is being produced by RDJ and his wife, right?
Yeah.
Well,
really?
What's cool is that'll be out on Netflix, and so will Lupin Part 2. That comes out June 11th.
Is that also a Marvel comic book, Greg?
Yeah, that's based on a Marvel comic book, you punk. Also, there is
a Part 2.
There's going to be a Part 2. Also, there's a fascinating anime coming out called, I believe it is Trace or Trace. I believe Trese. And what's really cool about it, if you don't know what it's about, let me give you the really quick synopsis. In Manila, where dark supernatural forces pervade the criminal underworld, it's up to Alexa Trace to keep the peace, but there's a storm brewing. It's actually directed by Jay Oliver. Jay Oliver, of course, does a lot of DC animated films, Todd. So
are you sure they weren't Marvel properties?
Yeah, I am more than sure, you jerk. So make sure you guys check that out. That's going to be another very cool one to look forward to as well. I'm excited for on Netflix. Yeah, that does look actually really cool.
Hey, Greg, I don't want you to think that I was jumping down your throat about that.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, too late. I'm already choking on you, Todd.
Ew.
Whoa.
You need to calm down, dude.
What?
You're overexcited. It's hard to freak me out.
This show took a turn.
It took a turn.
The NERDWatch. A mouth is a mouth.
This month premiere is Godzilla Singular Point on June 24th. Another anime to look forward to this month. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And if you are a fan, because I am not, there's one more anime you can look forward to on the 28th, The Seven Deadly Sins, Dragon's Judgment. It comes out to Netflix. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be available as well, but those are just some highlights for you. Anyway, of course, every single Tuesday, we've got it's DVD Tuesday or Blu-ray Tuesday. So let's get right to it, shall we? Of course, as you know, it is Tuesday today. So coming out on Blu-ray today is the 2001 version or 2001 remake of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, starring John Cleese and Rowan Atkinson. It's called Rat Race. That's out on Blu-ray today.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Also on Blu-ray today is Kevin Kline in and Out from 1997. That's a very funny movie. Also on Blu-ray today
it's no
is
Rat Race though.
And it's no Rat Race. Backdraft, the Steelbook edition is out on 4K today as well. And also out on Blu-ray today is that's pretty much it. But the big release for me, at least, one of the two big releases is number one is that you can get Genndy Tartakovsky's Tartakovsky's Primal is out on Blu-ray today. The complete first season is out on Blu-ray today as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can check that out as well.
It's good.
And yeah,
it's no Samurai Jack, but it's good.
And if none of you know already, the 4K version of Smokey and the Bandit is coming out on 4K. I am a huge Smokey and the Bandit fan. I love Smokey and the Bandit.
After what they did to that monkey, boo!
Stop it. So you can check out you can check out that as well. That's gonna certainly be very cool. And next week, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, next week is a very big release. We are going to get the 4K edition of the 4-movie collection of Indiana Jones out on 4K for the first time ever.
How is that possible?
They're making a new one.
There's only 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Hey Todd, I'm gonna remove you from this room if you ever say that ever again. By the way,
why?
Okay, huh?
What? You were wrong about Sweet Tooth, and now you're wrong about Indiana Jones.
There are 4 Indiana Jones movies, you jerk, and you know it. Anyway,
I'm surprised. I believe so. Whoa! I'm surprised you're not talking about the Blu-ray for season 2 of Doctor Who with
John Pertwee.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the thing about, I would love to get excited about these Doctor Who Blu-ray releases, but the way they release them are kind of strange because.
It's Doctor Who.
No, it's because the way they release them is strange in the fact that
it's Doctor
Who. It's because in England, they're known when you wrap up.
Is that a different country?
If you wrap up a show, yes, it is, you dick. When you wrap up a show in England, it's called the ending of the series. So it's really strange how because they say that this is the one that's coming out is the John Pertwee's complete season 2 Blu-ray. So I'm not sure what episodes I'm getting, and it kind of bugs me that I don't know because
all of season 2.
Yeah, but you see, in England, what does that constitute though? Because it's anyway, it's really convoluted.
Is it because their television is on the opposite side of the street? Is that
no?
Is that what's confusing you?
No, you're such an idiot, Todd. I hate you.
Is it because there's roundabouts instead of stop signs? Is that what it is?
Shut up, Todd. You're such a dork. Anyway,
they flush their toilets and the water goes the other way.
No, that's Australia. That's not England. That's Australia.
But that's part of the territory.
What's the difference?
That's right. There isn't a difference. England was Australia was England's prison planet, essentially.
Prison camp.
Prison planet.
Prison island.
There's a reason. There's a
Prison
reason that Australia and Alcatraz start with an A.
That's right.
Hey.
For those of you just joining us,
because they both hold Aussies.
Australia used to be a planet until it crashed into Earth and became an island.
That's what killed. That's what killed the dinosaurs.
That's what killed the dinosaurs.
That's what killed the dinosaurs and brought balance to the force.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, that's our. That's
the name of the podcast.
That's our working hypothesis.
That's what killed the dinosaurs and balanced the force. That's so good. Anyway, it's awesome. Anyway, we are out of time, boys and girls. It has been an absolute blast tonight. Yeah, I love you all, by the way. We'll be back next week, talk more about movies and games. Next week, I'm going to talk about, I finally broke down, because it was on sale, I finally broke down and bought Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I don't know whether or not I want to play that now or wait till PS5, but I own it now.
Oh, wait, yeah. I want to get your input on Biomutant so far.
Wait a minute. Drew in the chat says they love being reminded about the penal colony thing.
They do.
They do. They really do.
No, my wife is a convict, so she's fine, and she's fine with it.
What the?
Wait, whoa.
What?
Okay, this podcast is not ending now. We need to know this.
My wife's family can trace their lineage through New Zealand all the way back to the first fleet that came over from England. So the first and second fleet that brought all of the prisoners from England there. That's how Nadia's Irish and English heritage made it to New Zealand. And,
that is amazing.
She's gonna come out and yell at me in a minute for sure.
Aussie.
But we didn't even know about. We didn't even know about that. We thought that she was more New Zealander for longer, and actually she was her family's more Australian, and then immigrated to New Zealand 3 or 4 generations back. But you're right. They do not. I mean, they're proud of the fact that they toughed it out in Australia for sure, but they're not super stoked about. I mean, they're a lot more than just a penal colony, and they should be respected as such.
All right. Well,
Australia is a very dangerous and weird place. Have you seen the spider swarm that falls out of the sky every couple of years? That's terrifying.
Everything in Australia wants to kill you.
Todd, I'd like to.
They have saltwater crocodiles eating sharks.
Yeah.
Great white sharks.
Oh God.
And they've got great white sharks eating saltwater crocodiles. And that's just out in the ocean. If you get onto the land, then you've got to worry about the spiders and the snakes.
Before you get any further in this conversation, let me end the Nerd Watch and we'll start our new show about Australia. Okay? Let me end this first, and then we'll get on.
I mean, the first and second fleet is Australia's Mayflower, though. You know, I mean, like people are very they celebrate it.
Jesus Christ! Wait, we're not ending this yet.
Okay. Let me try to end this first.
Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward in the drop bears. When did drop bears come into the?
The drop bears they came over from Tasmania in the 18th century, I believe.
Okay.
Were they also on the planet before it crashed?
They were also they were that's how the dinosaurs actually died. There was a couple of them left, and then the drop bears fed on the dinosaurs and won. And that's actually what balanced the force was the drop bears.
All right, fantastic. And that's how the dinosaurs died.
Oh God, I'm crying. I can't.
All right, I can't wait. That is the name of the show.
And then people went back in time.
Drop bears balanced the force.
For anybody that's listening and or watching, you would never know that this show is done without the use of any drugs.
Or a script.
We are out of time, boys and girls. Have a wonderful week. Next week, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Next week,
maybe next week he will choke on Todd some more.
Next week we'll talk about the Conjuring.
If it was Australia, a mouth is a mouth. You filthy
God.
Unless that mouth belongs to a drop bear.
I think Kirsten sums up the ending of this show nicely. I regret staying up for this.
I know
Kirsten,
we started so strong too.
We did. We really did start strong. Kirsten, we really appreciate your vote of confidence in this program. Thank you so much. We've got a lot more in store next week. It's certainly going to be a lot of fun. Ron Cattaguy also says, "Me too." Thanks, Ron.
Again, you can't say that. Fault. That's not your hashtag.
That's not your hashtag. Well, regardless, we love all of you from Drew to Ron to Kirsten to Joel to everybody else who we happen to miss. Our good friends, Carl. We are out of time. Thank you to Damien666 as well. And of course, to our good buddy, Drew. I hope you had a good time as well. We are out of time. So for my buddy, Todd Bernardi, the Australian historian, Phormat, the gaming guru, Cobra Kai, the producer-seducer, I am G-Money. Peace out. Much love and most assuredly, always stay nerdy. And we'll see you right back here on the Nerd Watch next time. Aloha.